The one thing all of us in Nebraska can agree on is water is the future of Nebraska. Water is the pot of gold that gives us an extraordinary bright future for generations ahead, so that we grow. And we just need to the more detail we understand and know about it, we can make sure that the unicameral understands how important that investment is, and all Nebraskans, and that it's not just a Western Nebraska beneficiary. Everybody all the way to the Missouri River benefits. This project's incredibly important to ensure that the 7 to 8% water that Lincoln and Omaha gets from the South Platte Reservoir is not in danger. Our founding fathers of 100 years ago did some interesting stuff. Number one, it's 100 years that pact was signed to identify the rights of water in Colorado. It's ours, and then we have the rights. If you think about it, in Nebraska, 100 years ago, this compact was signed. 100 years ago, Memorial Stadium was being built. 100 years ago, our state capitol was being built. So just think of the extraordinary things happen, and it's a time for our generation to step up and do generational things like what took place 100 years ago. And when we talk about water and the incredible people in Nebraska, as I like to say, we ain't seen nothing yet.
We brought on a mainline consulting firm. HDR is heading up a blue ribbon team includes JEO, Olson Associates, Miller Associates from Kearney. They're really hitting the floor running hard. We're asking them to run hard to develop out the layout of where the route's going to be. In particular in Colorado, we need to know where we're coming into the state. So we're doing that project, moving that along right now. Hope to have some of those things better defined by the end of this year.
This next week or two is a big week because the legislature will be going through
and that was the next thing
budget.
That's the next thing I was going to talk
about. In our budget that we put forth, we would have, I think, the unicameral last year appropriated $53.5 million for the feasibility and ongoing work now that's taking place, and then our budget would be $628 million for the building of the canal, and we put forth building the canal at 1,000 CFS versus 500 because of the 3 out of 10 years there could be more flow, that we could have an incredible benefit. So every drop of water matters, and we think that's an incredible investment for the future generations. So we'll find out. That all goes through at this stage of the game. We think that'll be a really large bipartisan support. Doubling the capacity helps in all aspects.
All right, so you do expect that at least when it comes to the Perkins Canal, you're going to have bipartisan support even from the Omaha folks that questioned it before?
Yeah, because Nebraskans, we're working hard on an attitudinal change so that we all are doing what's best for Nebraska, not just our own little area. And that's why it's really important, whatever the subject is, we take a look at the greater good. And obviously, the folks out west are going to benefit. We're going to have more irrigation and so forth, but it's key for our river system and revitalization of our water and saving our water all across the state. Nebraskans understand that. Most of us totally take for granted the extraordinary infrastructure we have for managing and moving water from off of the South and the North Platte and the North Platte rivers. And when you just think of Lake McConaughey and that, when you think about how that was built in the 30s and how we're managing, and then how Nebraska Public Power District comes from the canals that were built and build a 1,300 megawatt facility that's allowing us to have some of the best electrical rates in the country, that's had an extraordinary impact on producing so much through agriculture with center pivot irrigation as that evolved in the last 50 years. So there's just multiple uses that go on from the infrastructure that was created since the 30s, and this is just another step to keep making a more profound impact
Okay.
using our water.
All right. With